Alright, we're going to get right into a quick tutorial. This is K Strong and the formation is slot offset RPO read. This play is in two playbooks, Arizona and the spread. I love the spread playbook. It's got a lot of different mismatch playbooks, a lot of cheap plays to get you easy yards. You don't want every single, drive downfield to be these crazy reads where you got to read five people. You want to make some easy yards, get some cheap yards. So here we go. So we get right into it. We're going to come out in man coverage against man. You see you got your read guy, the defensive end, and this defensive back out there. So if the defensive end crashes, you throw it out there. You got easy at least 10 yards out there. You know, depending on the defense you're playing, it's just an easy way to keep your defender on the toes. Again, he crashes, throw it out there. You got a lead blocker out there. You got some easy yards. You got a decent back. You can probably have a one-play touchdown. But again, this is just a I wouldn't run this as a full game plan. This is just something you want to throw and mix in every now and again. And so again, he comes in. You also got some good, you got the option to hand it off to the running back. You can get about a good 5 yards there if they're cut. Once the user starts going to take away this flat. Or if he crashes down, if you got a speedy quarterback like Lamar Jackson, you can take off, and that could also be a one-play touchdown. If you have some stick skills, I obviously do not. But yeah. Again, very nice play, easy read, throw it, you get some nice yards out there. It's pretty tough to stop without the user actually going out there. And again, one thing you want to do before you run this play is you want to make sure that they're not jamming the receivers. So they're playing off coverage. You got this is going to be there every time. Now this one I should have handed off. If you see he kind of held and the defensive end hesitated, you could have handed that off, kind of hit up the middle for a good 5 yards. But you still could have got good yards out here. Now, usually we'll run this from the wide side of the field. Probably give yourself a little more room to get out there. But I did not do that. Again, very nice play. I wouldn't use this every single play, but it's a good play to get you some nice, cheap yardage where you don't have to think about too much. You make your reads at the line of scrimmage and you're off to it. Now, a lot of times they're going to try to switch it up. They see, okay, we got to get somebody out there. They're going to run cover two. You see cover two, you see him press like that. That's okay. You'll see that the cornerback now becomes your the guy you want to read, and he's also going to kind of glitch out a little bit. He's going to come down, and you still got it. Now, I wouldn't wait that late to throw it. You could get called for that illegal man downfield. But he will come down in time enough for you to get that pass off. I have yet to have this play intercepted, knock on wood. So, again, see how the cornerback comes down? I could have thrown it a lot earlier than that, and we still are able to get the yard. So, even cover two is not going to be able to stop this. One thing I did find that will work against this, if they're running like maybe a cover three with some hard flats, the guy will come down. He won't be fast enough to intercept it, but he may come down and make a good tackle, depending on the formation. But again, if that's happening, then you'll have a nice, hole up the middle to kind of get some yards. But again, this just showcasing cover two that they're not going to be able to get down there. They're going to usually, because that guy is going to be reading the running back. His job is to contain the running back, so he's coming to make sure that that's not going to work. So you got defensive end on quarterback. The cornerback is on the running back that you could hand it off to, but you're not. So again, now that time he faked me out. He came back, and he actually took that time. I should have taken off with Lamar Jackson and picked up some nice yards. So you do have to be patient with this. Kind of have to read it. If you make the wrong read, it's not too crazy. You may just lose a little yards. Again, I haven't had this one intercepted yet. Now, you play against a good user, maybe he can come over there and intercept it. But if you see him flying over there, I probably would hand it off, or you could take off with your quarterback. Again, I would also recommend having a pretty mobile quarterback. I've even used this with the Saints, using Taysom Hill. It works out pretty well. This short pass is pretty easy for even him to throw. It's kind of hard to mess that up. I think I actually ended up with 300 yards with Taysom Hill because of this play. So if you see they can't stop it, hey, keep running it. Again, just a cheap play. Now, a good user is going to figure out how to stop this, so I wouldn't run it every play. But as you'll see, if you keep watching the video, there's some plays to set them up if they want to get too aggressive and try to stop this play. So next we're going to run it again out of another popular defense. Let's say they decide to run man and they decide to press. A lot of people love this 3-3-5 nickel and they'll press. So let's see how it fares against that. So again, now you see how the read men have changed. The cornerback is now the read kind of assigned to the quarterback. So if I see that, I'm probably just going to hand it off. We could still probably try to get it out there, but if we see press like that, we're probably better off just, now again, that cornerback still comes down, so we're still able to get some good yards out of that. But it's a very quick read. It can be a little bit dangerous once you see that they're pressed. You can still run the play, but I would just run it with caution. And see how that cornerback is now assigned to Lamar Jackson, so he's coming for the quarterback, leaving this guy wide open. And so this linebacker is actually supposed to be holding the running back that flares out, but most linebackers are not going to be fast enough to get there. He even played against the Falcons with, Deion Jones, one of the fastest linebackers in the game. He wasn't even able to get there. So again, very cheap play. If you got some good stick skills, it's probably a one-play touchdown. For me, I'll bust some 40, 30-yard gainers out of this one and call it a day. So again, you got these options. You got the option to give it to the running back, put your foot in the ground, get upfield, easy 8-10 yards. Also, if you see that linebacker crashes inside, you could also take off with Lamar, or you could just take off anyway with Lamar. Now, I would slide, do not take those hits. You will fumble. So get in there, slide with Lamar, unless you get that trust ability going. But it's just kind of showing that, hey, if you decide you want to scramble to get some easy yards, hey. Now, most of the time, they will pinch these D linemen. I didn't pull out the two controllers this time, but again, you still have plenty of running room on this play if they decide to do that. Again, I'm not that great on the sticks, but that's still easy 5 yards. So again, they start seeing that enough, they'll kind of probably come over themselves with the user, or they'll do something weird, like really try to go aggressive with the flats. And if they do that, there's a lot of ways to make them pay, especially if you have a speedy receiver on the outside. A lot of ways to make them pay. So we're going to keep going through, so we're going to come back to... We're going to put some cloud flats out there, right? I'm sorry, hook curl. And see how that fares against SSC. Now that just leaves the middle wide open if they're going to run a cover 3 like that. So cover 3 is not one of your better run defenses. So if you kind of know that they're running cover 3, hey, take what you get. Again, it's still open. Probably could have kept running there, but that's okay. So again, read still kind of stays the same. Now that time I made a terrible read, but that's okay. It's just showing what not to do also. Like, hey. So you want to be watching. Again, like I said, cover 3, that curl flat can get out there sometimes. He can get out there. He probably won't make the interception, but he can get out there and make the tackle and really make it a little difficult for you. But again, if you know that they're running cover 3, you could probably run all day. Or you can also maybe auto to a little outside zone, inside zone. Yeah, they will not stay in cover 3 if they decide to come out of that. You just got to run them out of it. All right, now this next play, still in the same formation. This is for that guy that decides, hey, I'm going to get aggressive, I'm going to press, and I'm going to kind of cheat down with my safety to kind of stop this play. This is a great way to kind of make them pay for that. It kind of looks the same, And so we're going to run cover 1 robber press. And we're just going to assume that user is just kind of cheating his safety down, going to place a running back on an option route, and that's it. not doing anything else. As you can see, Hollywood Brown has him torched. Kind of overthrew that one. But if they decide to get that aggressive, you have to respect Hollywood Brown, or you will pay the price. Then you've got this option route, the kind of a good check down. Now that time I didn't put it on there, left the play action, but this just showcases that, hey, no cornerback is going to run with Hollywood Brown. Like Stephon Gilmore, I've played against them all, and they all will get torched. Now some may start closer than others, but again, you usually have this option route. He's not going to double team him. So if you see that they're going to try to cover Hollywood Brown, you've got that for an easy good 10 yards right there. That route usually beats any linebacker or even a safety right there with a decent, just a halfway decent running back. Got a little pressure right there, messing up my play. Chris Jones. So one thing you do have to account for Chris Jones. I would definitely double team him. I didn't do it on this video, and he made me pay for it. You've also got this nice little crosser right there. As you can see, if Snead can get open, one of the slower receivers in the game, any receiver could probably make it there. So it's a pretty good play to kind of mix it up. When they think they're expecting that quick little cheap play, you can make them pay with that play. And this is me just scrambling around. So this is him. Even if they don't press, like depending on the cornerback, if they don't have cornerback, if you're playing against the Chiefs, they don't have a lot of speed at cornerback. So you definitely can hit him over the top with Hollywood Brown. But again, usually that option route is open, and sometimes if they just forget that flare out there, a lot of these swing routes work pretty well now. So if no one follows him out there, you could definitely hit that as well. Alright, so now we're going to try this. And we're going to go to another play, a nice little mix-up that I like to throw in there because sometimes I'll do the flare to the other side. And that is usually wide open. If they're in man coverage, man off coverage, you can throw that all day. So you just stop, plant, throw it as soon as you see it out there. There's no way that linebacker or defensive back can get out there if they're not pressed. So again, more cheap yards, just a simple play. It's a screen. You've got the screen if the user decides to fly over there, but this play will get you at least 7 to 10 yards every time. So again, he flares out. Now you've got the screen on the backside, and the thing about the 21 is that, man, that little slip screen is a lot more improved. The linemen actually hit their targets. You don't get backed up against the lineman all the time like you used to on 20. So you got plenty of room to roam. So again, that's just a dangerous play. Like I like to use that in the red zone. Just kind of they're expecting a run. They kind of, bring everybody inside, and bam, I kind of either throw that flare out there or hit that screen. Now you got to throw that quick, because he's going to start throwing off his back foot, and then he's going straight out of bounds. So as soon as you see it, you got to throw it. Their turn upfield, and again, someone much better on the sticks, you're going to get some nice amount of yards on that. So if the new meta right now is people running man coverage and throwing those hook curls out there, and they're usually at 25 yards, so they won't even be close to this play. So you turn upfield, make a few moves, make a few people miss in the backfield. You got either 30, 40 yards, but at the very least, at least 7 to 10 yards. That's for your heavy man people. Again, this is a spread playbook, man. I saw a lot of nice plays. I'm probably going to break down this whole playbook probably in a few videos because there's so many things, so many mismatches you can create with this playbook, and so many answers for so many different defensive styles. And it's just wide open. I like wide open football. Like, I'm more of a pass to open up the run guy, so I like to throw a lot of dump passes, spread out the defense, and then if you start spreading out, we're going to hit you with a lot of traps and inside zone all day long. So again, just a very nice screen. The slip screen this year is just so much more improved that it's definitely worth using. Now this is just showing that if they're pressing, I would not throw this swing pass. I have had this intercepted before, So I would just, hey, I would go to the screen. That's why you have the screen option there, and I would go there. If they're pressed, I wouldn't throw that flare to the right side. To the left, it works a lot better with the other play that we did before. But this one, they usually wrap that up. Now these corners aren't so good, so they're just kind of making the tackle. But some good cornerbacks, they'll make breaks on that ball, and that'll be a pick six, which cost me a lot of money when they play in a money game. So yeah, you don't want that to happen. You don't want to throw that pick six. So I would, if you see them pressed, or even if they're kind of aligned, like maybe 5 yards off, like that cover two like look, I would stay away from this throw. Just throw the slip screen, get whatever yards you can pick up. Now, if those blockers actually get out there, that's still a nice amount of yardage. So just a really cool play. So again, I think in this playbook is, I think Arizona also has this playbook, which also has some benefits, but by far my favorite playbook is spread. There's just so many plays that it's kind of hard to keep up with sometimes, but that's why I'm going to break down each kind of mini scheme, I guess you would say. Now this is going against, I believe, is cover two. So they actually turn and run with it. No, it's still press man. Still press man. So again, this screen is just very effective this year. The blockers get out there. You don't trip over your linemen. You're able to stay up and keep your balance and get a nice amount of yards. So this is a dangerous play, especially if you got somebody that's trying to blitz you like crazy. Like, I would just pull this out every now and again. But I doubt if you'll be getting blitzed out of this formation. Those swings can really kind of mess you up if you're not ready for them. A little stick work, a little bit of stick work there. But yeah, guys, this playbook is just full of just a lot of great plays. Just to see something different. They keep seeing the same thing. Everybody's running gun bunch, or they're running this. Like, this is just something new to kind of pull out to really throw off your opponent. Is the audio still going dead? I thought I stopped the audio. All right, this next play again is for that aggressive player. They see the swing coming to the right. They want to fly down and try to stop it, or they're coming out in something crazy to really try to focus on shutting down the run game and the short passing game. For this one, you can kind of hit him over the top, or you can hit him intermediate. So I'll put that running back in a nice option route. They run out there, he can sit down. That play usually gets wide open no matter that. You just have a decent running back. If a linebacker or safety's covering him, he's probably going to get open. I believe that's a defensive back actually covering him there. So then you got Hollywood Brown over the top. You also got this nice crossing route that's pretty tough to defend if it's man coverage. So again, that's Snead, not one of the fastest receivers in the game, but able to get nice separation, get a nice amount of yards. Now, you can still throw the flare. I wouldn't throw it that late because it's still tough for that linebacker to get over there. It's a nice amount of distance to travel. So if you see, hey, they're still not respecting it, you still got that option too. So a lot of different options on this play. Again, just keeps the defense on their toes. It's really tough if they're trying to run man coverage to be able to stay with that. And again, throw it late again. But see, he's breaking tackles. Those little DBs aren't going to bring down that guy. Let's go. So again, now throw it early. Now I'm able to pick up some yards. So again, if they still don't respect that swing, you can throw that all day. I was playing with the Saints. I would use Alvin Kamara, and it was killing them. Just Drew Brees has that noodle arm that just it's tough to go over the top of Drew Brees, but it can be done. And again, you also got this nice deep dig that you can hit there. Just got a lot of options on this play. You got the option route, you got the swing, got this deep dig. All these players get pretty good separation on man. Again, the Ravens don't have the best receivers in the world, and they're still able to get separation on these guys. So that's something I would definitely work on this play in the lab a little bit. Work on your timing. And again, if they're being disrespectful, you always got Hollywood Brown. But again, they're an off man. So off man, they can usually kind of stay with those streaks. It's when they start pressing and getting a little disrespectful. It's when you got to make them pay. And I usually have a one-score play touchdown at least once a game for somebody that presses and forgets to leave the safety over the top because they're worried about stopping me from getting 10 yards off a swing. So now we're going to go against cover 3. I'm sorry, this is press. So this is going against the press. They decide, hey, they want to come up and press, not cover 3. Sorry about that. If they decide they want to press, this is when you hit them over the top with Hollywood Brown. If that option is not there, you still got the same options you had before. You want to get that out quicker, of course. Get that out to your running back. Let him pick up some yards after catch. You also probably want to rack catch that. Just not as quick with that yet. We're working on it. Just a lot of tough routes to stop if you're running man coverage. So they'll assume if you run against someone that's primarily man coverage, unless he's just an insane user, which I find it hard to be able to just cover all of that. Now again, which is not as popular as it used to be, cover 3 is probably something that would be a better choice to kind of stop in these. Unless you still have options even with cover 3. These crossing routes can get past those zones, but it just gets confusing when they start doing those zone drops. So most people are running man this year, so this just gives you some good tools to kind of destroy that. Again, nice little dig route with the crossing route. Got some nice options there. Hit that swing on time, and you get some nice run after the catch yards. And so you end up with 300 yards passing, but you haven't thrown the ball past 5 yards. So just some easy plays. I like to make things simple. I don't want these crazy, ridiculous reads. And then once you start getting them on their toes, then you can throw some other things at them. But you want to keep the defense off balance. You throw some things at them you haven't really seen before. I haven't really seen a lot of people running plays like this. I think it just makes the game fun. You're not staying in the same formations, gun bunch, trips, and all that. It's just, which I like those formations, but it's not all I want to run. Again, bad read on my part, but again, you got a lot of different options. I believe this is it's cover 2. So again, you got that nice crossing route, or you can dump it off to the option route to the running back. It's wide open. If they decide to cheat on either one of those, you can kind of hit that on the backside. Now the dig, not really a lot of room for that. I probably would leave the dig alone unless there's a user over there that moves them out of position. But so these two, I would just focus mainly on that crossing route or dump it off to the option route. Definitely don't throw that swing pass on cover 2. Would not be a good idea. And I'm working on making these a little bit shorter. This is kind of spend a little too much time on the lab, but you got to if you want to get better, man. The ball too long. Chris Jones is going to find his way to the goal. Clark. And I'm trying to hit that deep cross, but you definitely got to have a little time in the pocket to hit that. So again, I probably would just take the option route and keep it moving. Trying to wait for that crosser can be a little dangerous. Even though you do have Lamar Jackson, you got a little time in the pocket. You can maneuver around. All right, and the last play is the RPO zone peak. Again, if you see, this is just, I kind of pull this out. If I say, okay, I want a run option because they're starting to spread out. They're trying to, play side to side, play horizontally. So I want to kind of hit them up the middle with this quick zone. The flare is still going to be out there. We're going to come out and have them press. Off man. If they're an off man, you still can throw this flare all day. Get a nice amount of blocking. It actually works pretty well if they're not in press or not cover two. So you definitely want to know that going in. If they're in cover two, stay away from that. If they're pressed, stay away from it. So your other option you have is to hand it off to the running back. Get some nice yards there. This is if you see that just those lanes are there. And you got to take what the defense gives you. Also, for me, you have the option to run with Lamar. So there's really not a read on this one as far as I don't believe there's a read defender. So you got the option to do both. You can either hand it off or you can take it with Lamar if you see that there's a lane, because he has the agility, of course, to make a quick cut in either direction. So just more options for you, Because a lot of times you'll have a user kind of fly down and try to hit the running back, and you can just pull it and take off for some yards. Now this is against press coverage. Remember, do not throw this flare against press coverage unless you want to throw a pick six. See how the cornerback jumped that? He still completed it, but he's just ready to take off running with that. So again, you see that, you automatically think, hey, I hand it off or I keep it with the quarterback. And Chris Jones just wrecking my play, of course. So I would also take the time to double team him. I did not. And he's going to continue to make the play if I do not. But as you can see, that lane was there. Chris Jones just happened to be a ridiculous player. But you got plenty of room to work with. This is just okay. You start hitting them with the pass. You just mix it up, run, pass, and they really don't know what's coming. Now this, I wouldn't also recommend throwing that. You got the little hitch over there to Hollywood. I wouldn't throw that in press. You could easily throw that if they're playing off man also. Get an easy 5 yards. I'm just trying to see if I can squeeze that in there. A nice little low ball dot. So yeah, man, this is just a quick little, I wouldn't even call this a mini scheme. I would just call this a mix it up scheme. Just something to mix it up. Give the defense they haven't, something they really haven't seen before. And again, this is in the spread playbook, which is my favorite playbook. It's got a lot of different formations, mostly just shotgun. I'm not going to line up an I formation and do all that and run stretch and dive. I hate that. But yeah, so it just got a lot of quick plays, a lot of quick passing plays, a lot of great running plays. It's got traps. It's got everything you need to have a good running game, but also, you want to spread out the defense. You don't want to get all compact because the stretch is not what it was last year. So I like to spread the defense out, then you kind of gash them up the middle with some of these zones and traps. But yeah, if you guys like this content, hit that like button. I know it's a little rough. That's okay. We're gonna push it on through. We're gonna keep on making videos. We'll start adding everything else to the channel slowly. Probably get myself a cover page at some point, but one step at a time. So hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. I'll be making a lot more Madden videos for that person that's trying to get an edge and just want to see something new. It's not gonna. I guarantee my schemes are not gonna be something you see everywhere else. You're not going to see gun bunch this. And if I do come gun bunch, which just happens to be in the spread playbook, I'll make sure it's something unique, not something that's already out there. Appreciate you from watching this. Again, hit that like button, subscribe. I don't care if it sounds like trash, babe. I'm putting it out there. Oh wait, I didn't stop the audio.